5 common problems with the Mazda CX-30. Number 1. Excessive oil consumption in turbo models. This isn't just a few people being picky, it's one of the most commonly echoed complaints from owners of the Mazda CX-30, especially those driving the 2021 and 2022 turbocharged models. A lot of owners began noticing their oil levels dropping between scheduled changes. Not just a little bit. We're talking about the need to top up by as much as a quart every 1,500 to 2,000 miles. That's far more frequent than what you'd expect in a modern engine with under 30,000 miles on the clock. After some digging, a clearer picture emerged. The culprit is the faulty exhaust valve stem seals. These seals are supposed to keep the oil from leaking into the combustion chamber, but in many CX-30s they don't. As a result, oil slips past and burns up, causing the engine to lose oil gradually. Not only this is frustrating, but long-term oil burning can lead to carbon buildup, misfires, and even premature catalytic converter damage. Mazda acknowledged this issue with a technical service bulletin in late 2022. According to that bulletin, updated valve seals were used in production after June 2022. So if your CX-30 was built before that date, there's a strong chance that it's affected. The repairs, well, it's not that simple. It involves removing the cylinder head and replacing the seals. Thankfully, this is covered under warranty, but still it's a major inconvenience to go to the dealer. Sites like classaction.org have even flagged this issue due to the volume of reports. So it's not just an isolated hiccup, it's a pattern. Hopefully Mazda fixed this problem on the newer models. Number 2. Underperforming air conditioning, especially for those living in warm climates. A complaint that became really obvious when temperature climbed: the air conditioning system. It might sound like a small annoyance, but if you're living in places like Arizona, Texas, Florida, poor AC performance can ruin your entire driving experience. What owners are finding is that the system doesn't keep up in hot weather. It can take ages to cool down the cabin, and in some cases it doesn't cool it at all while the car is idling or accelerating. Here is why. The CX-30 AC compressor is programmed to shut off during hard acceleration. That design is intentional. Mazda designed it this way from the factory. They made this so the car is able to shift the power to the engine when needed, but it has unintended side effects. You get temporary relief when you're cruising, but if you're in traffic or merging onto a freeway, the AC shuts off, the cabin heats up, and things get sweaty really quick. Some owners also discovered low refrigerant levels from the factory. So a simple recharge has helped in many cases, but many others required software updates to better manage the compressor engagement. Mazda issued a service bulletin recommending a reflash of the ECU to improve how quick the compressor reactivates after acceleration. But this hasn't been a silver bullet for everyone. In extreme heat, the system still struggles. It's just underpowered, especially when compared to competitors. So it's quite a good idea to do a test drive when it's a very warm day, just to see if this works for you. Number 3. Infotainment bugs. Well, the CX-30 has quite a good infotainment system. It has a large screen, a rotary control dial, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, things that people like, but this wears off quickly when it's not working properly. Reports began showing up within months of the car hitting the market. The most common issue, well, it's random system crashes, Bluetooth connection failures, and complete freezing of the display. One particularly frustrating issue involves the infotainment screen rebooting while navigation or a music app is open. Imagine trying to follow a GPS instruction and having your screen go blank for 30 seconds. Could be quite stressful. That's not just annoying, and it can be dangerous. Other glitches include phone not pairing, calls dropping randomly, and the system defaulting to Japanese or Spanish upon startup. These aren't consistent bugs either. They're come and go, making it hard for dealer to reproduce them during service visits. Mazda has rolled out several software updates to try to fix these problems, but owners forums like Reddit or Mazda 3 Revolution are still full of threads from drivers saying that the problems, still persist even after patches. It's not universal, not all cars are affected, but it's prevalent enough to be worth a serious attention. For a car that leans heavily into its tech features, this undermines confidence. Now for the number 4, it's all about noisy suspensions and cabin rattles. Ride quality is supposed to be tight, sporty, but still smooth. In reality, some owners have reported persistent suspension noises. Clunks, creaks, and knocks coming from the rear or front corners over speed bumps. The issue here is twofold. First, early production CS30s had quality control problems with the rear shocks absorbers. Some of them failed early, leading to noise and bounciness over time. Even after replacement, some owners said that their shocks failed again within months. Second, the cabin seems to have multiple rattle-prone area. Everything from the headliners and seat belts anchors to the A-pillars and glove box. It's not a structural problem, but the build quality just doesn't seem to hold up once the car sees a few thousand miles. At least in some cases, not all CX-30s are affected by these rattles. One of the problems of these is that they are hard to fix. Some people go back to the dealership 2 or 3 times with no permanent solution. And now for the number 5, electric gremlins and safety system glitches. This includes reports of parasitic battery drain, dashboard lights flickering, and driver assistance system behaving unpredictably. Some CX-30 owners have woken up with dead batteries multiple times, even if they drive their vehicle every day. Others have seen false warning lights such as battery management system faults or smart brake support disabled. These appeared out of nowhere. More concerning are the safety system malfunctions. Adaptive cruise control sometimes fails to engage or worse, disengage randomly. Lane keep assist occasionally fights the driver when it shouldn't, nudging the steering wheel in mid-corners. In a few cases, emergency braking has been triggered unexpectedly, even when there's no obstacles. This isn't a theoretical worry. Some owners have had a near-miss situation due to these phantom activations. Dealers have struggled to isolate causes. Some have traced the issue to outdated firmware in the vehicle computer modules, while others suspected a faulty battery or wiring harnesses. Mazda has rolled out software updates for some of these issues, and hopefully these have fixed this problem for good. Do you own a CX-30? Did you have experienced any of these problems? Please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one.